listeners. This is Russell. Welcome back to Channel 14. This is part 3 of how to become an audiobook narrator, tips and practices for getting started in the business. I suspect I know what you're thinking at this point in the process of audiobook narrating. I think you fall into one of 3 categories. 1, you're just overwhelmed with everything that's going on in this process, the learning, the newness of everything, and trying to figure out what in the world am I supposed to do. Or perhaps you're waffling. You're not sure that you even want to go into this process. Maybe you're starting to back out and going to shy away from trying to do this, from taking this risk. Or maybe you're chomping at the bit and you can't wait to learn more and get into the process. Wherever you are, whichever of these 3 categories you're in, I want to slow down and take a little higher level perspective of the process at this point. I want to bring in some moderation, some higher level thinking for whatever your mindset is, and lay some groundwork for the next few weeks. So you've been LibriVoxing, you've been ACXing, you've been doing the things you're supposed to do and getting started on this track, but now you're starting to wonder, is this something I can even do? Or more importantly, maybe, is this something I can make money at? And I'll tell you the answer to both those questions is yes. You can do this, you can get good at this, and you can make money at this, but it takes the right mindset and the right approach, and that's what we're here to give you. It's a bit like the lottery. As they say for the lottery, you can't win if you don't play. But instead of the lottery, maybe think of it more like the stock market. If you don't invest, you're never going to get anything back out of it. If you're investing for wealth creation, you probably know that small, regular, committed payments over a long period of time is what generates wealth. And that's exactly how it's worked for me in the audiobook narrating business. Your investments are made in time and money money becomes, for most people, the biggest obstacle to overcome. So here's my piece of advice for this week. Don't spend your money until you have some to spend. Whatever you have to work with at this point, stick with it for a while. Take what you have, take it as far as you can go with it before you put more money into it. Invest a lot of time, but not a lot of money. As you move forward, you'll pick up some paying gigs. And as you get the paying gigs, set aside some money here and there, whatever you can spare, all of it if it's possible. And as that money accumulates, then put it back into your business. Then look at a new microphone. Look at better software if you're going to pay for software. Find hardware pieces that can enhance your process, but it's not necessary at the beginning. What you have to develop is your voice, your technique, your approach, your efficiency. You don't need to spend money. You need to spend time. So here's what I got started out with. Take a look at this. Here's the original equipment from my first studio, as it were, a few years ago. An old Audio-Technica shotgun microphone, a Yamaha mixer with a USB out, and an old Dell laptop running Windows Vista or dual booted with Ubuntu, running Ardour, which is a digital audio workstation that I use now. We'll talk about that in the future. But for the most part, the primary piece of software here was Audacity, working on both Linux and Windows, and that's what the recording was happening in. And that's what most people are using to start with, if not further into their career. Audacity will do you well. It will suit you. It will do everything you needed to do in the beginning. Whatever you learn in Audacity is going to lessen your learning curve when you get into other audio recording pieces of software. The most important thing that you can invest into yourself over the next few weeks is time. Put time into it. Learn what's going on. You need to record stuff. You need to sit down and just record whatever you can find. For yourself, for other people, for relatives, for friends. Just record it, listen to it, and delete it if you need to. But you have to put in time in front of the microphone. You need to read and research from reputable sources. Don't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube, but test it. See if it works for you. Apply some logic and some common sense to everything that your research leads you to, and then determine, will that work? Will it work for you? It might work for someone else and not for you, or vice versa. You need to listen to other voices. Find other narrators whose style you like, whose voice you like. Learn to emulate them. Bring in things that they do to your performance. Learn things that they do that you don't like and eliminate them from your performance. But listen to a lot of other voices and find out what's going on in the market, what people are looking for, what people like, what you like, where your style and where your niche lies. If you can't find a paying gig right now, it's not surprising. It's going to take a little work for you to find a paying gig. So find places to volunteer. Community organizations, LibriVox can't be beat. But there are other things besides LibriVox. If you have a church, a school, a library in your area, a radio station possibly, get in touch with them and find out if there's some way that you can volunteer reading public service announcements. Look for ways to get yourself in front of a microphone so that you can get some things recorded, listen to them, evaluate them, and get better. The only way to get better is to invest the time. Sit down in front of the mic every day for an hour or 2 or 4, whatever you can put into it, because that's what it's going to take to get yourself better. It's a challenge, and if you are interested in doing it, you're going to have to put in the time. You want to learn to play guitar? You got to strum. You want to play the piano? You got to plink it out. And this is how you learn to do an audiobook. You sit and read and talk for hours on end. When you find a way to get paid for it, that's when things start looking up for you and for the future. So invest your time now into your future career, but don't invest your money yet. Use your time investment to develop some cash investment and then put that back into the process as things proceed within your career. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're starting off with, what your hardware is, what you want to do, what you've learned, what you're learning, what you want to learn. Be interested in hearing anything that you have to share as I get this new channel started and as you get your new career started. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate it. Keep working, keep talking, keep recording. Make sure you're listening to your recordings. Put in the time, save your money, and we'll see you next week.